CWPA Remote.
Both of you, first of all, Louis Nicolao and Tom Popp, thank you very much for stopping by. Appreciate you taking the time out. Hope everybody's doing well during this quarantine. But first, you guys are both Navy alumni, played for the midshipmen. Can you just talk about your playing experience at Navy and the relationship that you two had from your playing days?
All right, Tom, you're the older. Speak first, eldest.
Well, when Louis came to Navy, he was a freshman and I was a senior, and we developed a little bit of a friendship during the senior year of my senior swim season at Bellarmine. We went to the same high school. So he was a swimming phenom before he was a water polo phenom. And I finally, as a senior, was fast enough to make the free relay at Bellarmine. And that was my contribution. But I remember Louis, he's given me advice what to do on that free relay. Anyway, I go off to play for the mids and watching this guy from afar. We both had the same high school coach, Larry Rogers, great fundamental, legendary high school coach. And he's always whispering in my ear, Louis the real deal, Louis the real deal. And when he finally let go of Stanford and came to Navy, it was great news for us. And he helped us. Without him, I don't think we would have won our third conference championship my senior year.
Well, that's very nice of you, Tommy, but the reality is Stanford let go of me. So Tommy's the reason why I actually ended up at Navy. This is all pre-internet, pre-social media, and Tommy was a top recruit out of high school and was going to Stanford. And I'll never forget coming back to our sophomore and Tommy was off with the junior team playing, and the scuttlebutt was Tommy was at Navy. And I couldn't believe what the heck was going on because, like Tom said, I grew up wanting to go to Stanford. My dad went to Stanford, NorCal guy, and kind of sparked my interest of why Tommy would say no to Stanford last minute and go to Navy. So as a sophomore, I started looking into Navy, and before you know it, the senior year came upon us. I did not get into Stanford, and we came back to visit Navy and just fell in love with it. And I think Tom being there made it a lot easier for me to make that decision.
Definitely. And now, Louis, you were so you have history outside of Navy. You were the coach at Princeton for a number of years, and you had some battles with Navy, but on the other side of the deck there.
Sure.
So now that you look back at Navy and you're reunited with Tom, what are your goals for the Naval Academy program?
Well, it's to get back to where it was years ago. Our goal every year is to win a championship. Anything short of that is disappointment. And I think, the last few years at Princeton, it became easier to root for Navy because we weren't in the same conference. With this
right.
Conference split, my first 15, 16 years, Navy was one of our huge rivals and some great games with Mike, and was able to win some and lose some. For the few years at Princeton, we had the conference split, and just being able to take a step back and watch Navy hit some tough times and struggle, it was hard to watch, and I felt bad for the guys and felt bad for our program. And so when this opportunity arose, I was ready for a change and kind of recharge the batteries, and it's been great.
Yeah, and Tom, you're a member of the CWPA Hall of Fame. You rank among one of the best players in the history of the sport on the East Coast. And looking at the current Naval Academy team, do you think both you and Louis would be able to hang in there with these guys now?
Not right now. These guys are too athletic for us old timers. Louis done a great job with the recruitment that we've got here. And we got some talented kids on this team. And I think every year you marvel at the athletic prowess that's in front of you that you get to coach. Mm-hmm. And these kids are getting better and better. And we've got some instant depth now, and Louis got these kids believing in the system that he's put in there. And we're hoping for a great year again this next year. We had an almost year that last year we scared some some teams, and we almost got into that conference final. And that's the goal. You get there, and you never know what's going to happen in that final game.
Absolutely. And I mean, Navy has won. This brings me into the next question. Navy's won 8 league championships, just to recap: 86, 87, 88, 2000, 2003, then 2006, 7, and 8. And Navy will host the Mid-Atlantic Water Polo Conference Championship this year. So who are the biggest threats for Navy returning to the top of the league and making another appearance at NCAA championships, like we were just saying?
Well, I think it's important not to take anybody lightly. I mean, we know Bucknell, GW, they've been the 2 premier teams the last few years. And I think they'll be good again. You know, and you got Hopkins and you got Fordham, who's had some really good teams the last few years.
Wagner's young and loaded too.
Yeah, Wagner's. I think we have a very strong conference. I mean, I think the fact that we've been able to win the play-in game the last 2 years speaks highly of our conference. And it's all about playing well in 3 days in November, hopefully November this year. We'll wait and see what happens this fall. But it comes down to peaking at the right time and getting some breaks. So, like Tom said, we're excited about our future. We're excited about this team coming in, but at the same time, we can't take anybody for granted.
And now going off of that, what things would you like other teams in the league and fans of the sport to kind of know about the Naval Academy Water Polo program?
I think that we're just always a tough out. You come to Navy, you get to compete at a high level, but also understand that, you know, it's more about water polo. You know, water polo is part of the process, part of going to college, and you get to come to the academy. Yeah, we take polo very seriously, but it's not going to pay your bills. And so when you come back here and play for us, it's all about winning, but at the same time, it's all about having fun. And the key to having fun is winning. And that's what we try to do. You know, I try to have a lot of fun with these guys, keep relationships outside of the pool, and our families are all involved. It's a family atmosphere, and we want these kids to have a great 4-year experience, and hopefully in those 4 years win some championships.
And just to wrap this up, guys, just being in the situation we're in, you got any quick workout tips or anything for players to do while they're on lockdown at home?
That's all. That's Tommy's world. Too lazy.
No. Hey, it's hard for these guys. You know, they're probably tired of doing a lot of power cardio and dry land workouts, and a lot of them don't have access to the gyms and the weights that they have at their own colleges. So they're getting creative. I think for our midshipmen, I think they got a little bit of an advantage. They're always seeing these SEAL workouts and different things. So they've got things on their own to do, but we've been giving them some cardio and power cardio, and they love to stay in shape. I think it's a great outlet for them. There's enough serious nature going on in water polo. Louis does a great job of making it fun, and then they're motivated to work hard by themselves, and winning is fun, as Louis says, and we hope to keep it that way.
Definitely. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Tom Popp, Louis Nicolao, thank you very much, guys, for joining me for a little bit, and best of luck to you guys in the upcoming season.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.